Welcome back to the channel. Today we're in front of the home gym that is a huge work in progress, and I'm making this video here for two reasons. One, just so I can get two things done at once, make this video and get a workout in, but also to those of you that are just like me, who don't like working out, don't like going to the gym, have never liked going to the gym. I always used to hear people say, man, going to the gym, it changes my mood, it makes me think more clearly, it gives me more energy throughout the day. And I used to think, yeah, right, like, I hate going to the gym. If I go to the gym, how is it gonna give me more energy? If anything, it's a complete energy drain, and I just absolutely hated going to the gym. But now, after pushing myself to go consistently for a month and 2 months, I've actually been able to see some of the benefits and what other people talk about when they say that they're addicted to going to the gym, right? You get a lot more mental clarity, you feel more productive during the day, I can get a lot more stuff done, you feel more confident. And honestly, it probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't have these two books, but that's a topic for another video. For now, let's get into the numbers of how much it costs to become an airline pilot in 2025. Alright, I'm going to be talking about the Hillsboro Aero Academy in Hillsboro, Oregon. This is a Part 141 school, and even though the prices are going to be a little bit different to your local flight school, it's still going to give you a good idea of what to expect. Alright, I just finished my workout because I decided that working out and talking is going to be too hard. And just before I start, I want to say that I'm not affiliated with the school in any sort of way. Obviously, they don't pay me, I have no subscribers. I just wanted to provide a video where it provided all the information needed for somebody who is in my sort of situation, because it took me hours of searching through the web and making phone call appointments with representatives at the Hillsboro Aero Academy. So I wanted to provide all that information here for you guys to watch. So for the professional pilot program, you're expected to go to class 5 days a week for 2 hours each day, and they offer two different pathways for this program: the standard pathway and the accelerated pathway. So for the standard pathway, they advertise that they can get you from 0 to CFI for $72,000, and that's with doing 4 to 5 flight activities per week, and you should be done in around 16 to 18 months. Now they base these averages, both the cost and the timeline, the schedule, based off of their own flight school averages, not off of national averages or FAA minimums. According to one of their representatives, their school average for private pilot license is 55 hours, the national average is closer to 60 or 70 hours, and the FAA minimum is about 40 hours. So now moving on to the accelerated pathway, which again is 0 to CFI, they advertise that they can get you there in about $66,000. This savings of about $6,000 is from cutting 35 hours from your flight time, because you're going to be doing 6 to 7 flight activities per week. You have to be available basically 24/7. You're going to eat, sleep, breathe, flight training. And they estimate that this program would take 10 to 12 months to complete from 0 to CFI. Now let's get into some of the other costs. These are costs that your loan might not cover if you choose to get a loan, or if you get a loan that doesn't cover these costs, you might have to have this cash on hand. First, let's start with check rides. This is probably going to be your biggest cost. They can range anywhere from $750 to, I've seen on Reddit people post about $1,500. So we're going to want to save about $6,000 to $8,000 for those check rides. You're also going to want to get an iPad. So just like I have here right now, I bought mine for $405. That was during Black Friday. This is the iPad mini, came out in 2024, I believe. So if you're planning on going to flight school within the next year or so, I'd say wait till Black Friday, get those deals, and save a couple $100. Also during Black Friday, you might want to pick up a headset. At this flight school, you can borrow a headset. I don't know what kind of headset they'll let you borrow. I'm assuming it's going to be like a David Clark or something. But in my opinion, I'm more of the buy once, cry once kind of mindset. So if you go for the 830s, it's going to be about $1,300. And this school also implements fuel surcharges. So they rent you the plane at a flat fee, including your fuel. On the day that I called, they had a surcharge of about $7 per hour, so budget around $1,000 to $2,000 for extra fuel charges. Again, this is a 141 school, so they're going to have registration fee and application fee, which are, application fee is $50, registration fee $100, and that's just, it is what it is. If you want to be part of a school like this, you're probably going to pay a lot of fees that you don't agree with. Then for your iPad, you're going to want to get a 4-flight subscription. I don't know what the retail price is, but if you go to a 141 school, they're going to give you a discount code most likely. For this school, I believe it's about $135 for the year for 4-flight. And then if you want to be an airline pilot, you're going to want to get a first class medical right off the bat before you start any sort of training. Mine was $140. They vary a lot depending on what DPE you go to, so check your local DPE and see what the prices are like. And I'd say even before you get that medical certificate, you should probably get a discovery flight. Mine was $149 in a Cessna 172 at HAA. It was about a 1-hour flight, and this just helps to confirm whether or not this is something that you actually want to do. So I recommend taking that discovery flight. You're probably going to like it. And the last thing I have on here is just a $300 miscellaneous charge, whether that be for an iPad case, a logbook, E6B, sunglasses, or a plotter. Just small things like that. eventually something is going to come up. You're going to want to get some piece of small equipment, some tool that's going to make your life a little easier. So taking all of this into account, the standard pathway is going to cost you about $81,579 to around $84,579, whereas the accelerated pathway will cost you about $75,579 to around $78,579. Obviously, this is very expensive, and I know a lot of people are going to say, why don't you go to a Part 61 flight school? Why do you choose a Part 141 flight school? Well, if your main concern is expediency and getting your flight certificates as fast as possible, I'm not talking about the training. I'm sure your training can be faster at another location, at a Part 61 school, but if you're somebody that's going to need financial aid in the form of a loan, you're going to have a much better time getting a loan at a Part 141 school than a Part 61 school, because these Part 141 schools have partnerships with Sallie Mae and College Avenue, at least this school does. And when I was looking at another Part 61 school, I wasn't able to get those opportunities there. This school also has connections with Alaska Airlines and Horizon Air, so upon completion of your 1,500 hours, you're going to have a conditional job offer waiting for you at Horizon Airlines as a first officer. And since aviation is such a volatile industry, it might be a good idea to secure that job offer early in your career. Part 141 schools also offer a much more structured pathway. You have those in-person ground instructors that are with you, teaching you and walking you through their syllabus that is already pre-made. You don't have to try to teach yourself through these licenses. It's a much more structured pathway. That's going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what expenses or what costs did I miss. I know it's not going to be very popular that I'm choosing to go up to a Part 141 over a Part 61 flight school, but hopefully you guys see why I'm doing it and why I think it's a better fit for me personally. I'll see you guys in the next one.